Hello, my dear friends. Thanks for being with us. This time we are on the road. Apologize for the venue. We are on the way to Orlando to attend a lecture of our dear friend Alexandre Alves over at Plenitude Spiritist Society. But figure, hey, punctuality is punctuality. So we are here to read the Medium's book along with you and make some commentaries about it. Um, as customary, this is the edition we're going to be reading from. Okay. And let me make some announcements. Please don't forget to download the app and listen to Kardec radio programs and podcasts. It's available on both for iOS platform, Apple, or Android. Don't forget to send questions to Kardec Radio Twitter account. And remember that all this work is done by volunteers, but there are costs associated with web and app hosting, along with broadcast and publishing. So if you're able to, be kind and donate so this work of love may continue for many years to come. Yeah, I suggest you follow along with our reading. And if you happen to have this same book here, it is on page number 59. We are on paragraph 35 of the methodology. We are on chapter 3 of it. So, for those who desire to acquire this preliminary understanding through our works, we recommend the following order. Number one, what is Spiritism? This booklet of only 100 pages or so presents a summary of the principles of the Spiritist doctrine, a general overview that enables one to see the whole in a condensed picture. In only a few words, one can ascertain its objective and judge its scope. Furthermore, it presents the principal questions or objections that newcomers are usually inclined to raise. Such an initial reading, which requires but little time, is an introduction that will facilitate a more in-depth study. So, actually, the What is Spiritism came to be published after the Spirit's book. Hello, Soul. Thank you for joining us. And it is, of course, I don't have the booklet here with me, but it is actually a little booklet available in many languages, available in English. And it could very well be used as a primer to the doctrine. I have read it, and I read it after reading the Spirit's book. So uh, I guess some of it was kind of already being repeated. And there are, however, I would say, information in it uh, expounded in a different way. So um, I will recommend, of course, some I believe will still may prefer the question and answer format of the Spirit's book, which we're going to be reading about it next, which is number 2. So, the Spirit's book. This book contains the complete doctrine as dictated by the spirits themselves, and contains their entire philosophy and all its moral implications. It reveals humankind's destiny and provides an initiation into the understanding of the nature of the spirits and the mysteries of life beyond the grave. By reading it, one comprehends that Spiritism has a serious objective, and it is not a frivolous pastime. Why must he, of course, make this announcement at the end of the paragraph? Is because Spiritism, sorry, let me correct myself. Spiritualism was mostly characterized during the time when this book was written, middle of the 19th century, by holding public seances, which what they will call at the time, well, basically mediumship sessions, and were used mostly for entertainment of house guests or actually the public, what people were charged um, money to attend. And thank you, Celia Regina and Tatiana Alves. And Rita de Cassia, for supporting us. But it was not used to its full advantage, of course, right? And many charlatans, many deceivers were taking advantage of other people because this was their way of living. That's how they supported themselves, and they at times had to, you know, reproduce phenomena by other means than the natural ones. So I believe that's why he had to make this commentary at the end. Now, talking about the Spirits book. The Spirits book, many people will start reading the Spirits book at question one, which I do not recommend. I wholeheartedly recommend you should read from the very first page, all right? Uh, because it contains some very valuable information and basically an explanation as to the why and how of the Spirit's book. So please take the time to do it. So, by the way, our project, spiritismstudy.org, has developed with with the permission of kardecpedia.com, who furnished the translation. We developed a study aid for the study in group of the Spirits book. Basically, what we did is remove all sections where not a question and answer and deleted all the answers. And the reason for that, amongst others, is to invite you, incite in you the rational thinking about the question, possible answer according to what you think, and the implications of it. Because, and you can agree with this analogy or not, if someone were to give you a quiz and the quiz already comes with the answers immediately below the questions, how much thought do you even give about the question since the answer is right below it? Um, but so many people study that way, and actually, the reason that we developed this study aid was because our group study at our local Spiritist Society, Love and Wisdom of Largo, Florida, um, they used to cover, or they still do, they cover the answers. It's a little piece of paper. And we discuss what the answer may be before reading the answer. And I think it's a very valid method, and I really recommend it. So let's continue. Number three, the Median's book. This book is intended to guide those who wish to become involved with the manifestations and provides an understanding of the most appropriate means for communicating with spirits. It is a guide for both mediums and evokers and supplements the Spirit book. So, which is this book. And although, of course, it is used in the education of mediumship groups who eventually may or may not hold mediumship sessions, is not the intent that we are reading here. We are reading here with the purpose of educating, the purpose of inciting you the desire to read Kardec in its original format. Well, if you discount the translation. The reason is because I think that there was a providential reason why the doctrine was written in such a way, right? And instead of perhaps relying in simplistic or condensed um, versions of the doctrine, as in, let's say, um, other books who try to condense like the 5 books of the doctrine into one smaller one, um, which can still be used as a primer. But I think by the effort that we dedicate in reading Kardec in its original format, not only we are not losing some of what always lost in translation, but also we are fulfilling the task of elevating ourselves spiritually, morally, intellectually by accepting its format and using it as such. And most of us really will have to read this with the assistance of a dictionary right next to us. Those who are reading using an ebook can benefit from using like the ebook reader, because you can easily click on the question on the word or highlight the word or even a historical figure that is mentioned and get the, the definition of it, right? If you're doing it on a computer, you can also do that. Continuing. The Revue Spirite in French, in English, the Spiritist magazine, you can put it that way. This journal is an assorted collection of phenomenological, sorry, I messed that one up again, phenomenological incidents, apologize, theoretical explanations, and separate excerpts, which supplement what is found in the other previously mentioned books. Oh, hello, Gabriel Inácio. Thank you for the comment. Thank you for the blessings as well. Um, that is suggested order as far as we are concerned. However, those who want to understand the science completely ought to read everything that has been written about it, or at least about its main principles, and they should not limit their reading to just one author. Now, let me just make a break here so I can mention why only those books are mentioned. You gotta remember those books were written in order, roughly about 2 years apart from each other. Mina's book, the Spirit's book being the first one, um, and then came, I want to say, What is Spiritism? Sorry, let me rephrase that. Spirit's book, Mina's book, I believe then was What is Spiritism? Then the Gospel according to Spiritism, Heaven and Hell, Genesis, and posthumous works. Um, Concurrently, the Spiritist magazine or the Revue Spirite was being published as a periodical. Um, but so at the time of the writing of this book, only those were available. And that's why you don't see their titles here. Now, listen how important this is. They should not limit their reading to just one author. Also, it reads this way: they should even read the pros and cons, the critiques, as well as the defenses, and learn about the different theories in order to be able to judge by comparison. In this respect, we neither recommend nor criticize any work, because we do not want to influence anyone's ability to form his or her own opinion. This is what's important. It's your responsibility to form your opinion. In adding our brick to the building, we only fill our own particular niche. It is not our responsibility to be both judge and litigant, and we have no foolish pretense of being the only ones capable of spreading the light. Rather, it is the reader's responsibility to separate the good from the bad, the correct from the erroneous. So, this task is upon ourselves. Um, I wish every one of you is able and willingly take that upon yourself and use the assistance of those who are willing to volunteer on your behalf. So thank you for being with us. Thank you for the support. Thank you, Kardec Radio, for hosting us. And Godspeed to all.